Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about the Apple Vision Pro. Let's get into it. So before I get ahead of myself, let's take a step back. I was a kid on Christmas morning with this baby, unboxed it, put it on, set it up, and immediately after seeing the apps pop up right in front of me, the first thing that I noticed was how crisp the display is. I mean, putting a couple windows in front of you and then looking around that window, it looks like it's actually there in the real world. The AR is phenomenal. So one of the apps I opened up is Disney Plus because I want to check out the 3D movie catalog. And there's a few Marvel catalogs in there, and I want to rewatch some of my favorite Marvel movies that they have in 3D. And then Disney also has environments where you can actually be in a movie theater. My favorite, of course, when I'm watching my Marvel movies, and that's being on top of the Stark Towers in New York watching a freaking movie. And then one of the downsides I've found in this app was just the number of movies offered in the catalog for 3D itself. I want to see more. However, I did go on the store and I downloaded the iPad version of Amazon Prime Videos. And I was watching Ready Player One because obviously this device made me want to watch it. Now the Apple TV app, once you go in there, and they have a dedicated catalog called Immersion. Dinosaurs, wildlife, Alicia Keys, being in the studio with Alicia Keys, that was mind-blowing. And talking about apps, one of my favorite apps to go through is my Photos app. The Photos app in here is phenomenal. Looking through your memories, looking through your photos that you've taken, unbelievable. This thing is gorgeous. The resizing of the image feels lifelike, which also takes me into the immersion portion of spatial video. This is something that they really celebrated in the video about this headset, and something that I was really looking forward to doing. Hell, this is the reason why I purchased an iPhone 15 Pro Max, so I can capture spatial video. And trust me, I have been doing this for probably a couple months, where I will just randomly capture, knowing exactly how I'm capturing this video, if I should stay still, if I should move slowly. I just kept capturing a lot of spatial video within my phone, anticipating to use this within the headset, because the marketing is it's like reliving the memory. You're right there as if you were in that time. I gotta say, the spatial video is immersive. It's pretty good. For me, it didn't feel like I was there. Not the way that I thought and the way they promoted it. And I think it has to do with, they just give you a window as if you're looking through John Malkovich's mind. If you ever watched that movie, that's exactly what it feels like. And everything else is blurry except that little tiny spot like a dream. And it does feel good. And maybe I'm not capturing correctly yet. I don't want to keep doing this and try to make that feeling come like to pop out in life. But I just wasn't feeling that from the spatial video. Maybe other people feel differently about that, but that's my experience. Other apps like Jigs, like you can literally see a F1 racing car, which looks so realistic. I mean, the shadows and the lighting on this thing, it looks like it's in your house. This is part of the most realistic thing I've seen on any VR headset. I subscribed to the Apple Arcade and I played a couple games on there. Didn't want to use the controller, so I want to use my hands, and the games are okay. Coming from a VR headset like the Valve Index and having those controllers, playing games feel more immersive with controllers than with your hands. I think because of the vibration and whatnot, you can just kind of feel like you're in the game, and not having that takes you away from that. It'll be interesting to see if Apple actually has optional controllers that has, haptic feedback to it, maybe some gloves, I'm not sure, but adding something like that to games would be helpful for the immersion aspect of the video games. But I understand Apple's forefront is not the video games, it's productivity. When it comes to productivity, it's pretty good. Looking at your MacBook, connecting to it, having a nice large display and resizing it to your liking is a plus. Now, when we talk about comfort, I've had my fair share of using multiple VR headsets, so I understand like the weight differences in each device. The Apple Vision Pro, it's very light, but it's still a little heavy. Now, it all depends on the strap you use. In my experience, the dual strap band is the most comfortable. However, this one just looks cooler, and it is really comfortable. The way it feels around your head is just, the strap actually lifts the Vision Pro kind of off your nose in your cheeks to give you a little more comfort in that area. Battery life, this thing, it's decent. They advertise about 2 hours, and with watching movies, being on Safari, Reddit, just going back and forth with messaging and whatnot, I'll get just a little bit under that. And being so immersive in this environment, it goes by quick. It feels like it goes by quick. So I constantly always make sure I'm plugged in if I'm on the couch. So that way when I unplug and roam around, it's fully charged. And you really feel the lack of battery when you wear it all day. It's something that I did for a few days where I just wake up, put it on, keep it on all day with my activities and see how it feels within my day-to-day activities. So I can actually use this for my work, my off work, and just use it for everyday things. The battery itself, you feel it, like you feel it drain quick. You kind of forget about the wire, the single wire that comes down from the headset down to the battery pack if it's in your pocket. You do forget about that after a while, but I mean, it's there. But this is the very first version of this headset for people like us who got into it. You are the first early adopters, spending a crazy amount of money on it. I can't wait to see what this looks like 10 years from now. So who is this device geared toward? That's the question, right? Because like when you look at the Quest, when you look at the Valve Index, you know what they're geared for. It's like you're going to game. You're going to get some really good immersive gaming. What about this device? What about the Vision Pro? Well, what I can say is that you will not get that immersive feel of VR titles in terms of gaming. But this thing is a media consumption. What I mean by that is if you purchase an iPad because you love being on the couch, you love consuming media, you're watching something, you're on the internet, you're on Reddit, you're on social media, you're doing all these things on your iPad or on your phone, and you're just consuming this media. A lot of people do this on the couch with a TV in the background, right? That's my media center. This takes that experience and amplifies it in a huge way, in a very successful way. Whether you're using this thing with pass-through and using the windows within your own environment, or going into Apple's environment and feeling like you're in the cold in Antarctica, or feeling like you're in the forest, the media consumption is absolutely amazing. You can sit there, have a couple windows open on the internet, have a huge 3D movie in the background. You can be doing all these things at the same time with everything in front of you, repositioning them in any way you want, resizing them. Absolutely beautiful. It's an experience that even if you don't purchase this device, you have to experience it. Go get a demo. Go to the Apple store, get a demo. This thing is something that you should actually put on and experience yourself what this new craze is called spatial computing. Because all these screen recordings of the pass-through and looking through the headset and seeing all the apps, it's not the same as you experiencing it yourself. Go do it, get a demo. This thing does get hot, not on your face, which is interesting, but it has vents on the top and the bottom, and I mean, it produces a lot of heat. So here's the question, is it worth it? Beautiful headset, great experience for a niche that is being exposed, especially through Apple, but is it worth it? Is it worth it from the starting price of $3,500? With the small catalog of apps that it currently has, with a catalog of 3D movies and the things you can do on this device, I don't think so. I think it's better to wait for a couple versions or generations for this device to get better. I mean, everything about this device is going to improve. And once that happens, they're opening a door for just unbelievable gadgets in the future and how we interact with these devices with the real world. I cannot wait for that. This is a great starting point. $3,500 starting price. If you got the cash to burn, do it. You'll love it. But if you don't, save your money. Wait until a few more generations come up and this is more of a refined headset. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys liked this video. Leave it a thumbs up if you did. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next video.